Hi everyone! As promised today, I announced on Instagram that I was going to be doing a video on the brand new The Gift of Life Tarot deck by Alice Smeets. Sorry, sometimes I have trouble navigating the reverse reverse way to move it in the camera. So Alice Smeets, follow her on Instagram, by the way. She is the creator of the Ghetto Tarot deck, which I carry on my site. Now, I've carried this on my site for, I would say, probably 7 years at least, and it is definitely one of my favorites. It's the deck that I use for my spirit guide readings. This is all photographs of people in Haiti. So that is one of the really important aspects of these decks, is these are photographic tarot decks. So instead of having your normal illustrations, that's where somebody has drawn sort of the depiction or the meaning of the card on each card, she uses her photography skills and talents to take photographs and align them with the meanings of these cards, which I find to be really special and really unique. It obviously is going to give them a much different feel, something that's more in-depth, something that's more spiritual, something where you're relating to the humanity of these people, and sort of what the meanings of these cards, how they really like transmute into a human life, So we're going to go ahead and open it up. I've already opened this up and looked at it because I felt like I needed to for the video. You get a really nice booklet. I'm trying to get the glare off. Okay, it's pretty in depth. I want to see if one thing I have not looked up is whether or not they tell you about the photographs of each card. Yes, they do. So every single card you're going to look at is going to have, it's like I said, a photograph. Okay, this is the Death card. I really like this card because I love the fact that he has like looks like ritual, maybe clay or cascarilla or something like that on him, to where it's like representing purification, because that's how I see death, as sort of transmuting into something pure, a new aspect of ourselves. Not necessarily, and that's, people, of course, I think anybody watching this video knows that the Death card doesn't mean death, but maybe perhaps a death of something, but really more a purification or a purging of something, or a transformation. It can mean positive change a lot of times. So on each, for each card, like I said, you can look up and it will tell you about the person in that card. I'm going to try to find death really quick. I probably should have done this beforehand, but I like to wing my videos. So let me see. Yep, here we go. I knew I was getting close. Okay, it says, I chose to depict the Death card as a Haitian voodoo priest during Carnival, dressed in a black coat with white powder on his face as the Haitian Loa Baron Samedi. Baron Samedi is the owner of the cemetery, lord of sex and death, master of magic and masons, protector from zombies, and the leader of the Gede family of Haitian voodoo spirits that embody the powers of death and fertility. Baron Samedi is an integral part of the spiritual realm, holding the end of all beings and carrying them into the next life. So I'm glad I started with that card, because she's also clearly done her research, because that is a very good explanation of Baron Samedi, and also something that you would experience in a Haitian, festival like that. So that was a great one to start with. I picked a few of my favorite ones here. Fortune. I loved the Fortune card. Do you see how it's like a little kid has made a bow out of like an old flip-flop and like a piece of plastic? So to me, that's like, you never know, how things can be interpreted, and somebody's, this may look like junk to somebody, but somebody had the ingenuity and the creative ability and the imagination to turn these things into something that was worthwhile for them, something that had value to them, something that brought them joy. So, and that's, I think we make our own fortune. So that's why I chose this as another one of my favorite cards. I really believe in making your own luck and your own fortune and seeing the value in things that may look negative on the outside or that other people may not be able to see the positive about it, but training yourself to look really, really hard and turn those situations sort of on from another viewpoint so you can see the good in them. The Chariot, I love this. You've got a gentleman here on his bicycle. I'm sorry if it's not focusing very well. So I really like that on his three-wheeler there. The Lovers, favorite. They look like, again, they are in perhaps a voodoo festival of some sort, voodoo ceremony. And I think that that is, you don't have to share your spirituality with your partner. I don't. My husband is an atheist, agnostic. But we do go to a lot of places together where we have sort of a sharing of energy. We can acknowledge that together. So I think it's at least that you respect each other's beliefs, you know? And that's what I see going on here is like a real love and respect and like mutual admiration between these two. And this is not necessarily interpreted as always romance, you know. I think we have a lot of soulmates in our lives and they're not always romantic. They're often platonic. So the Empress, I love this one. You see this sort of wise older woman with, you know, other women seated around her, and she looks like she's, you know, talking to them, and who knows, maybe telling them a joke or telling them, you know, an old wives' tale, or maybe passing down some traditional information. So I really like that depiction there. And I think that's another great thing about these cards is that, you know, if you don't want to read them the traditional way, I don't think you have to. I think if you looked at these pictures and these people, and what they're energetically putting out in these photos, if that spoke to you in a certain way, I think these could easily be used as oracle cards as well in that way. Another thing that you're probably noticing by now is we have huge representations of very underrepresented people. Most of these cards have people of color on them, people of mixed race, people from all over the world, all ethnic backgrounds, all traditions. So as we know, people of color are highly underrepresented in the tarot. For years and years and years, really up until the Haitian tarot deck, which is the other one of Alice Smeets I just mentioned, and then Rachel True's deck that she just came out with, which is an illustrated deck, not a photographic deck like these are. Those were the first decks I had seen that had a majority of people of color represented in them. So I'm really glad to see the strides that we're making in our spiritual community, and that people see that not only that it needs to be represented, but that it is of value, right? So here's a great one. You have a circle of, you know, it looks like maybe they're gentlemen. It looks like, well, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell what gender everybody is in that. They look like they're probably maybe male identifying under the moon there and having a little, you know, get together. And I think that's really beautiful and a really sacred photo there, you know. Judgment, I love this one. You got this guy playing his trumpet, holding a red umbrella, you know. That's like, I mean, what an interesting photo for Judgment, you know. People probably like, you know, walking past him and thinking, you know, what's this guy doing, you know? And he's like, I don't care, I'm doing my thing, right? Because that's what that picture is all about. Either look at, you know, be introspective and look at what you're doing and going, is this really working for me? Am I having fun doing this? If I'm not and it doesn't serve me, get rid of it, you know? So here's the World. You have in this, you know, older woman here, this like, you know, crone, wise woman, beautiful bright clothing. It looks like there's also some type of celebration going on there. So I love that sort of encompassing of just her energy, you know, for that card. And then, of course, we get into, so we have suits in this, and they're not quite traditional. The suits are, looks to be identifying with elements instead of the traditional suits. So what you have is like earth for pentacles. You have air for swords. You have, what, probably, let's see here. You have water for cups, obviously. And then you're going to have, what would make sense here? I bet you I can guess if I can find the other suit. I'm not seeing what she's. Oh yeah, and we just have fire. So actually, that may translate to. I take that back. Let's see. You'd have. No, the wands would be the air, and then the swords would be the fire. So that may take a little bit of adjusting too, if you're not, but I kind of like it. I like the elements associated with it because I like the depiction of the elements on the card, because you can also read that into the meaning of the card. So I really enjoy that aspect of it. The other thing I like about these is her cards are typically a little bit larger than normal tarot decks. I like to be able to shuffle my cards, and I'll tell you, even though these are a little bit larger, here's the back, by the way. It's got like a sunburst. These are still, I do love a really thick card because I think that that shows me that they put some investment into the production. But these, I like the flexibility of, because I could shuffle these properly. So I don't need a big, thick, heavy card that doesn't bend. I actually want mine to flex. So that is another bonus thing for me. So overall, I think it's an absolute beautiful deck. If you're looking for something different to add to your tarot deck collection, if you're looking for maybe to enhance your divination skills by allowing this to not only work as a tarot deck for you, but maybe also an oracle deck, or maybe get in touch with the elements more and how they align with the tarot card readings. If you just want to enrich your life with some beautiful photography of people of color all over the world, then you are not going to go wrong with this deck. So I'll show you just a couple more here. Here's 3 of water. Or is it 2? No, it's 3. 3 of water. Here's 4 of water, just to sort of give you, I'm sorry, my camera does not focus well on sort of shiny objects. We did that, we did those. I'll just show you a couple more. 4 of earth. So this is actually somebody climbing, this looks like an avocado tree. I recognize that from being in Costa Rica and St. Croix, because you would have avocado trees right outside. 5 of earth. I mean, just really, you know, it's such a beautiful, it's almost like buying like an art, you know, like a coffee table book for the artwork in it. You could honestly invest in it just for that. It's so beautiful. But I think if you're really looking for a way to enrich your divination skills, this is an absolute great deck to go with. So thank you again to Alice Smeets for not only making it and sharing her amazing talents and abilities with us, but also giving us a wonderful new tool to express ourselves, to dive deeper into our divination, and also to represent people of color in the tarot. So thank you so much. I'll talk to you guys later. You all stay blessed, okay?